Every day it's like I'm on my grind, motivated mostly by the money on my mind. All this time I've been working for success, but I guess that's a sign I'm not ready for it yet. Maybe that, or I'm coming for it full blast. Where's the champagne? Better pour me up a full glass, cause we celebrating for the future in the making, and we gon' make it. Whether or not we gotta take it, then we'll break it up together, cause I'm on my grind all of the time. I'm on my grind all of the time. We on the grind, we on the grind, all of the time. We on the grind, yo, we on the grind, yo, we on the grind, yo, all of the time. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. We on the grind, yo, we on the grind, yo. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Every day it's like I'm on my grind. Wanna kick it with my girl, but I ain't got the time. If you wanna survive, you gotta swallow your pride. Treat your life like Facebook and put it all on the line. We all trying just to break through, but we hate on a brother when they have the potential of what it takes to. That's why with everyone I know I try to stay true and never let the bullshit in between us like the face tune. Cash persuades you, and once you get enough, it's probably gonna change you. I hustled for a decade, and dude, I done shit for money that I'm damn well ashamed to admit. Sold shit to people that got hooked. Anything from last times to innocence I've took. It's like money made us care less for others, but we justified it by sharing with each other. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. When you doing good, ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. So I'ma keep it moving like I should. And show these fuckers who I am. We on the grind, yo, yo, we on the grind, yo, we on the grind, yo, we on the time. We on the grind, yo, we on the grind, yo, we on the grind, all of the time. We on the grind, yo, yo, we on the grind, yo, we on the grind, yo, we on the time. We on the grind, yo, we on the grind, yo, we on the grind, all of the time. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you doing good.
Back in your computer screen. That's Josh Mola. I'm Rob Battler. You're watching Beyond the Gloves and Tape episode 5. And you were just listening to Kelly Maloney on my grind. And we're live.
What's going on, bro?
For a very special episode of Beyond the Gloves and Tape. Happy birthday, Josh Mola.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
How was your week, brother?
Oh, it's been long, but we're here. We're doing our thing. You know, it's birthday. It's 29.
Hell yeah, it is.
So, we're going to keep grinding, boys and girls.
It's awesome, man.
So, Robbie.
God, we have a load show today.
Tell them.
We have Beyond the Gloves. We have BGO Day to talk about. We got UFC 264 to talk about. We got UFC tomorrow night we got to talk about. We got a couple fight announcements we got to talk about. So, we might as well just get right into it. BGO Day.
I will kick this one off. So, Beyond the Gloves is getting a banner too. We are going to say that. We're going to start with that, actually. I forgot all about the say this on stream. We got a banner, and we are really excited about this banner. It is our first Beyond the Gloves and Tape. It's going to be a massive logo up on the back of us. So, yeah, I hope you guys are going to get ready for that.
Oh, it's going to be a banger.
It's going to be a banger. And
Let's
this episode is going to be a banger. And we're going to start off with BGO Day. Okay?
So I just want to get into this quick, and I'll pass the reins to you after.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Beyond the Gloves and Tape is a BGO production. BGO is what makes this ship drive. Without BGO, there's no Beyond the Gloves and Tape. There's no Mola Show. Tectonic T's not doing this thing on stream. We're all under that. So BGO Day is in Brantford. You don't gotta live in Brantford. You can come on the stream. We'll be live and hang out with us and support us. And this is all for you guys. We appreciate you. We just want to give back to the community, and we'll be there. If you see us there, take a picture with us, and we'll be giving out 2 free t-shirts to the first 2 people that we see online. Go on Instagram, #BTGAT. You can tag at Josh Amola or at Rob_ on Combat, and we'll give you a free T-shirt. Who doesn't want a free T-shirt? So, BGO Day next week. It's gonna be awesome. We can't wait for it. I'll be there. I'll probably be cooking. I'll be doing something. I'll be there. I can't wait to see you guys there.
I'll probably be controlling the mainstream.
There you go.
So you'll be the one talking to all the fans around the world, and
that's my thing.
all the people that can't be there that will be on stream. You'll be seeing Robbie B there.
Hell yeah. I'll be walking around everywhere. It'll be such a good time.
So Robbie B will be there. The Combat Man will be there in person. But
yeah. I'm gonna pass it over to Josh because he's the head honcho. He's the president of our BGO. Take it away.
So anybody that shows up to Beyond the Gloves and Tape that is a follower of the channel, you will get one free food voucher. Plus, we'll have our merchandise there. Our merchandise, if you spend $25 on a hat, t-shirt, glasses, any sort of merchandise we have available, if you spend $25, you get a free voucher. If you spend $50, you get 2 free vouchers. So that's another incentive to help the BGO grow. And any donation you make, you will receive 1 free voucher. So please, the money will go to a good cause. And yeah, we're going to have a couple raffles there as well. But it's going to be a fun day. It's July 31st. Starts at 12 p.m. Goes to 5 p.m. And there'll be lots of food there. So make sure you guys show up. And, man, it's going to be an exciting day. The rain date is August 7th, by the way.
Beauty. So we got our bases covered. I'm looking forward to this, man. I can't wait to see you guys there, to give back to you guys, and we appreciate you.
Now.
And a quick word from our sponsors.
Sponsors?
We always forget. I don't know why. He's such a great sponsor. For those of you who don't know, Beyond the Gloves and Tape is sponsored proudly by Charlie Cover Sports Advisor. For your 70% win rate on the best picks in sports, head over to Charlie Cover's IG at Charlie Cover Sports Advisors for the best daily picks in the game. If you message him with the hashtag BTGAT, he'll give you 30% off for all pick packages. Let's get her going.
All right. So, the topic we will be getting into, we're going to go back to the old 264 because there's been some stuff popping up all over the internet, and people have kind of mixed emotions about this in a couple different senses. So, when you really think about it, Connor hasn't really been stroking his ego too hard, I think. And some other people think, Robbie thinks he is, and he's kind of playing off the leg injury, saying it was a prior injury. He came in from camp hurt.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. What I want to hear is no excuses, actually. I don't want to hear any excuses. I want to hear accountability. I want to hear why you lost, what adjustments you're going to make. Don't tell me adjustments. Just say you're going to make some adjustments and give respect where it's due. I don't want to hear that Jolie Poirier is in your inbox. Nobody cares. I mean, like, there's a reason Connor didn't. We're not even going to get into that.
I think Karma had a front row seat to that fight.
Like he said, man, karma's not a bitch, it's a mirror.
Yeah.
And that was such a good line for me. And
that fight was amazing in a sense.
We're going to get into it. I wanted to say, from top, this might be the best prelim card I've ever seen. We're not going to get too into it, but wow.
Like, the Sugar Show couldn't even put away this kid from...
Before the Sugar Show, they all delivered from top to bottom, man.
Well, they top to bottom, but we're going from top to bottom, like...
And we look at this card going in, and we kind of thought it was maybe a little top-heavy. We're like, maybe Connor's kind of carrying the show a little bit. Maybe Sugar Sean's on there, sell some pay-per-views. Maybe this is going to be worth the main event. But no. Prelims delivered. One of the best prelim cards I've ever seen. I think fans helped that a lot. And they were packed. They're usually not even there, but like right from the first fight of the night, they were in the arena, ready to go. I loved it. The energy was great. Fights were great. Greg Hardy got knocked out. I love that. Whatever, man. The whole card was great, and I wanted to just take a good time to shout out those performers.
I can't believe Greg Hardy. Like, that fight was... That
insane.
was... I don't know, man. I looked at Greg Hardy, and I seen that strike he lands, and...
Beautiful shot.
And then it's just like, that's heavyweights, though. Like, you can't sleep on that. Like, you have to watch. You have to watch.
He even said, too, he's like, were you playing possum? He's like, nope.
Like,
next thing I know, I got hit. Next thing I know, he's coming in. I hit him as he was coming in and stayed patient and put him to sleep. And it's like, wow.
I think one of my favorite lines in the post-fight press conference is what's the one reporter say to Dana? He goes, uh, Dana, would you drink a beer out of a shoe with whatever his name is? I can't remember his
Ty
name.
Tuivasa.
Yeah, Ty Tiavasa. Oh man, I started laughing. He goes, "Fuck no! Like I would never do that. Like not in a million years. Like he can go do that all he wants. Like
Yeah. I've been seeing Chris Martino everywhere. Shout out to him, man. He's been on the Pat McAfee show. He's been on ESPN a few times. Man, good for him. I'm happy for him. He deserves it. So we can't wait to see him back. Let's get into it. So what I thought about the opening fight, or the opening round, I thought, let's just say going into the fight, I thought that it would be reminiscent to the last fight, where I thought Conor would kind of control the distance, land his shots, kind of do his thing, and then Dustin would weather the storm. Like I don't think Conor's ever going to put Dustin away with one shot at 155. I think a lot of people aren't talking about this factor. Dustin's going in there around 180 on fight night. You know what I mean? He's like not the same guy shrinking down to 145, struggling to make weight. He's looking good. And I don't think Conor knocks him out with one shot at least. He might, like, accumulation, sure. But, like, I don't think with one shot strike, that's there for Dustin. He can hurt him with one shot, absolutely. But I don't think he can drop him with one shot anymore. Not with a punch, anyway. So that's goated. And then... Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I wasn't saying anything.
Okay, so that's going into my mind, right? So the bell rings. We were so excited for this fight. I could not wait. My heart was pumping. So he goes in, he approaches just like a typical Conor fight. He tries to gauge the distance. A little different though. Dustin he eats a jab right away. And I was like, okay. All right. But then Conor answers back with a hard leg kick. Really hard leg kick. And I was like, wow, okay. That's interesting. Another one. Okay. Another one. This one was checked. And I was like, holy smokes, we can see clearly what the adjustment was for Conor this fight.
Torque power.
He keeps trying to pressure him.
And torque him. He put a lot of power in those shots, too. He was trying to put him out.
But on the last shot that he was clearly, the shot that he checked, the leg kick he checked, he was clearly hurt on that.
So, this is my kind of justification of this. I'm not trying to stick up for Conor, but in the sense, I don't think Dustin was right with the way that check came in. So that check wasn't the one believe did any damage.
I don't think so. I think it did damage, but I don't think it
broke it.
The front kick. Yeah, that's the one I seen.
The front kick is the one that we think, or the whole combat community is like, you know what? I think it was the front kick that separated the leg. Like,
I don't think it was the check that separated the leg. I'm not saying that, but it hurt him for sure, and he backed up right away, and I thought that was significant. So then after that, they get into a couple exchanges, and it's interesting. It's going back and forth. Nothing really too big. They're kind of feeling each other out. Dustin lands a right cross, and I'm like, holy smokes, because you see the Conor's facial demeanor completely changes. He decides to clinch up at that point. They go to the fence, and right here and there, I knew Conor was in trouble. I don't know. I know about you. You were saying pretty much singing the same song. I mean, like, this is not looking good. We go to the ground. This is where things get a little dirty for me, because.
Can I say one thing?
Oh yeah.
I have one big problem with after that fight. You can't tell me John Kavanagh's plan was going in that fight that we're going to put a guillotine in if the chance comes.
Oh yeah, no.
There's no fucking way in hell. Their game plan was to put a guillotine in when Conor can't, to save his life, put a fucking guillotine or choke somebody out. He can't do that physically.
I'm starting to lose respect for the whole team at this point, because like from last couple losses, John Kavanagh is like, he used to kind of keep him in check. You know, we kind of got the sense that John was the good voice in camp that would kind of keep him a little grounded.
The voice of reason.
Exactly. But the last couple losses, we're seeing nothing but excuses from everybody. When he lost to Nate, there was no excuse. When he lost, like, from John anyway. So I'm kind of perplexed by all these excuses coming from him.
I don't think you can have an excuse when you got tapped out.
Not only that, I think when you go into a cage fight at this level, you owe it to not only yourself but the fans and your employer to bring your best. And if you can't do that, you owe it to yourself, your fans, and your employer to pull out and be your best or close to it. So I don't want to hear anything after the fight from anybody. That's a big that's a big thing for me. I don't like that he was coming out and now we're just now hearing about this leg. Why didn't you pull out? Anyway, let's go back to the fight. So it goes to the ground. Didn't like a lot of the tactics Conor used here. A lot of foot in the fence, a lot of pulling. Did you see him pulling down on his glove? Did you see any footage
Well,
of that?
no. The foot in the fence was Dustin, and the gloves was
Right,
Conor.
right, yeah, right. The glove.
Yeah.
So both sides kind of. But
The gloves for Conor, I think, was just in retaliation to the hands. Or the gloves, the hands in the gloves was retaliation to Dustin putting his foot in the fence, in a sense of he was making it near impossible for Conor to get any sort of control on the ground by doing that, and he wasn't going to let Dustin just stand up for free. He was going to hold him too,
that's
and
pretty.
he kept close so that he could do damage. Now Dustin's dealing damage while his foot's in the cage. Conor's dealing damage with the up kicks while his hand was in the gloves.
Well, I wouldn't say that he was doing damage when his foot was in the cage because he was trying to use the cage to wall walk. But yes, you're right.
He had his shoulder right in his chest. You can walk in the airway. You're making him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're making it affect him breathing.
But
right?
the whole point of that wall walk was just to separate the leverage from his neck from the guillotine, right? But I get what you're saying. He did definitely stick his toes to the fence, and there's some.
And then you
dirty...
put the pressure on to get.
Yeah.
Then you gotta just relieve it by releasing the guillotine.
Yeah, and but that's like that. I don't find that so dirty in the fact because he's just trying to get out of the choke, and I'm not really ready to just say that he who knows, he might have.
But Conor could have just been going for his wrist, right?
Yeah.
If he had just wanted wrist control, and Dustin was trying to pull away, and
but that was
just
pretty.
got caught.
For me, it was pretty bad because all three were under his.
It was very blatant, but
so anyway,
all 5 toes were in too, so it did look kind of blatant there.
So it goes back and forth, some kind of dirty tactics on either side, and then we get up to around 4 minutes.
Yeah, but you got to think too. This whole dirty tactics thing, people are playing this up like it was such a dirty exchange between the both of them, but you got to think this was meant to be a dirty fight. These two physically and mentally don't like each other. They've stated that now. The second fight was kind of, in my opinion, it was not normal. I think COVID shadowed that fight in a sense of, listen, the whole world's gone crazy. Everybody's sick. Let's be nice.
I'm not trying to bury Conor when I say this. Let's just make that clear before I get into this. I don't like anything I've seen from him as far as outside the octagon in the past 5 years, and especially because like when he came back, he was nice to Dustin. I don't know, like I just now in hindsight, I'm kind of seeing that. I'm like, was that fake? Was this all? Is this all just like, who are you? Like what are you doing here? What?
When I think about all that, I agree with what you're saying. The last 5 years, it hasn't been him, but in a sense, the guy did create one hell of a brand of whiskey, and he's got the money to show for it. And
here's
other than that,
here's an interesting quote. Here's an interesting quote that that we got from Khabib this week. I think you might like. He said, "Money doesn't change people." He said, "Money makes people's true colors come out."
Yeah, and that was from Islam, wasn't it?
No, that was for that was an interview he did with Brett Okamoto leading up to the Islam fight in fight week.
But
I thought that was
Islam
really
talking about Khabib too.
I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty cool quote, and it was a telling quote. And it was really interesting. I mean, like, that's pretty much what we're seeing. Is that what we're seeing with Conor? Is this who he really is? Because like that makes a lot of sense to me. Because Khabib, not a lot of people talk about this. Multi-millionaire. The following he has in the Middle East is absurd. I'm talking billions. Billions of people want to see this guy, or well, not maybe hundreds of millions of people want to see this guy, die to see this guy, pay to see this guy. He has, and Conor's not the only one with endorsements. I mean, he's got like the Fight League, and he's got a couple, brand deals. I mean, like, he never had to work for the last 5 years alone, just from his following in the Middle East, and we haven't seen him switch up one time. So I think that's pretty telling.
Well, you got to think about this too. If you go and see Conor in the middle of the street, you're not gonna show him the respect you're gonna show Khabib in the middle of the street. In my opinion, if I meet Conor McGregor and I meet Khabib, I'm treating Conor way different than I'm treating Khabib. Khabib's the GOAT,
Oh,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I love that guy. Like, I wanted to see him lose so many times, but that's just to see him lose. I'm sorry, nobody's perfect, or are they?
I guess he is.
I guess he is.
He's
And
a
you know
family
what?
man. He's a nice guy. And
Yeah, he's a nice guy. You know what? Now I'm you kind of want to say, you know what? I don't want to see him fight again because you just want to see those guys ride off into the sunset. And you know what? The respect factor is there where people go up to Khabib and they respect him, whereas Conor, nobody respects him really. He's got his business deals, but other than that, people are just in his pockets.
We're going to get back onto Khabib when we talk about Islam later, because I do want to revisit this topic, because Khabib specifically was in the headlines a lot this week, and I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about Islam's spectacular performance. But we're just going to finish quick on Conor. Dustin and Conor what do you think? Does it need to happen?
Yeah, in so many eyes it does, because their golden boy didn't get his free ride.
Was that fair? I mean, how many times are we going to... They did the same thing with Khabib. Immediately after the Khabib fight, what did Dana go out and say? Well, within a week, we're doing the rematch. We got to do the rematch. I mean, why is it that whenever Conor loses, Dana just kind of, I get that he's a needle mover and he sells fights, but let's just try to, so does Israel Adesanya, and this isn't the only guy that can sell a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? This was anyone else, he wouldn't be getting these opportunities.
And in a sense too, okay, yeah, you have one of the biggest fucking paydays you've had in 2 years because of this guy. You sold out an arena. Finally, you're if you're the UFC, you're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we should just tell the fans, yeah, here comes the rematch, because what else are we gonna say? We can't lose the fans that we just got because of a crazy fight night.
I get it.
That whole fight card.
But from a purist standpoint, I'm just gonna say, it's kind of, I don't want to see it. I'm just gonna say it. I don't want to see it again. For me, I don't know about you, but from a purist, I get why. I agree with you. I'm with you 100%. I get why we would do the fight again for the casuals and the pay-per-views and the money. I get it. But for me, especially if Dustin wins, Charles, how are we gonna come on? How are we gonna get Conor? You know what I mean?
That's another topic for conversation.
That's a great fight too. I can't wait for that fight.
I'm curious to see if somebody's actually prepared for that fight.
I can't wait for that fight.
If he doesn't show up prepared, you know who's gonna get his ass whooped, right?
Charles.
Dustin.
Oh, you're crazy. Dustin always
Dustin.
comes prepared.
Now, the only thing I see in this fight is only two outcomes. Either Dustin gets lazy on the ground, and we see a quick chokeout.
Well, it's not Conor, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is no Conor on the ground. I'll fucking say that.
I do think that changes the fight.
But in a sense, Dustin's boxing is superior, and if he can keep it on the feet, I give it to Dustin. But I've got a feeling that some crazy Brazilian jiu-jitsu
I'm with you.
is going to come out to play,
I'm with
and
you.
this little black demon that surrounds Dustin catching a title is going to keep being there. You have to think about Dustin under the bigger lights of the Golden Belt.
See, my thing with that is Dustin has good jiu-jitsu. And with the Conor, he was kind of complacent, but he knew what he was dealing with. You know what I mean? We've seen him against really good guys on the ground, and they can't submit him.
1 second here. What's Dustin's last 5 fights?
Dan Hooker, Conor,
Okay.
Khabib,
So,
Max Holloway,
it was
Tony.
Conor
Or no,
in 2021.
Justin.
Dan Hooker in 2020. Max Holloway and Khabib. Now, all the fighters I've just listed, besides Khabib, are known strikers.
Mhm.
Dustin had the advantage on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Whenever Dustin does not have the advantage on the ground,
Khabib. But
he
Eddie
loses.
Eddie has the advantage there on the ground technically. Anthony, another black belt.
Yeah, but again, these
Yeah.
guys are known strikers. Eddie's
Yeah.
a known striker. Jim Miller is just a brawler. Michael Johnson KO'd him. Like he only wants war fights. I
Yeah.
don't think Dustin's got what it takes to really deal with Charles on the ground.
I guess we'll find out.
I think this is the best test for Dustin
Oh yeah.
and the best test for Charles, and this is one banger of a title
Because
fight.
they both have black belts.
But it's a landslide fight. I think it's a landslide
Either
fight
way.
in the sense
You think one either
it
way.
has to go Dustin knocking this guy out quickly, or Charles is going to catch him quickly because they're both dry early. If Charles catches a takedown early and Dustin doesn't know how to deal with the way Charles is going to
Well-
go about doing it, I think Charles can deal with him very, very quickly.
You gotta remember though.
And Charles's last 5 fights, he's tapped.
What I was about to tell you. You gotta remember though. In the last fight against Chandler, he had a lot of problems on the ground. Chandler dominated him. In fact, he had a 10-8 round against like Charles was down 10-8 going into the second round. A lot of people aren't talking about that. And it wasn't from the ground. Like he knocked Chandler out. That's the only. You know what I mean? Like he got beat on the ground, bro. Like I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying because he did look really good against Tony. So did Beneil Dariush.
Yeah.
So like, we can say the same. 'Cause the same can be said for Charles, dude. You know what I mean?
I think Charles right now is such a versatile guy that,
Yeah.
in my opinion, Dustin's
Dustin's not submitting him. I'm not
Dustin
saying
will
that.
submit him. Yeah, Dustin's not going to be able to.
But my
He
argument,
might. He might. You can't say he's never. It's fighting. It's
Yeah.
fighting. You never know.
because he can take us back, and he does have a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So like, yeah, you're right. It is fighting, but like, the odds aren't there for that. But my thing is, Dustin also has a good wrestling base. So like, what if we see Charles? Because Charles had problems with Chandler, and Chandler's a wrestler. So like, you know what I mean? Like, there is a path on the ground. Either like I do, like I get what you're saying, but like I don't think it's gonna be as landslide as you think it is, bro. I do think that.
I don't think this gets out of the second round.
Maybe not. No, maybe not. But
No,
what if it
that's
does?
the landslide part of it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think this is a
Okay,
brawl,
okay, yeah.
like drag out fight. Like, I don't think we'll see 5 rounds between these two. I think this is going to be a banger of a fight, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a landslide either way.
But my point to that would be that Dustin does have more than enough tools to hold his own on the ground, and like the Chandler fight, the 10-8 round on the ground, like he couldn't do much to Chandler on the ground off his back, and I'm like, if Dustin could put him on his back, maybe there's a path there, dude. Like I don't know. I think it's a great fight.
He's going to
Yeah.
have to use his weight to his advantage and keep Charles on the ground and keep top, or it's.
But that's gotta be a confidence booster for Dustin going in, right? Because like now he's gonna know that
Well,
I'm good everywhere.
The confidence booster, in my opinion, is if Dustin gets him to the ground, if Dustin can keep him down there for a set time. Like,
Get out of the first round and you end on top, then you go in the second round and you're like, wow.
I got him.
let's-
I had him down for
Yeah,
1 minute.
I get what
I'm
you're
good,
saying.
I'm happy.
I get what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
had him down for 30 seconds. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to keep fucking around down there. Let's
Or-
see what he can do on feet. Let's
Or
see
if
he
you
can
get
keep
out
him
of a
up.
submission, if he evades a submission, that would provide a lot of confidence too. Like, okay, this guy. Okay.
I think we see Dustin prepared
Oh yeah.
for the first 2 shots of a takedown. Like, he's gonna shoot twice, and I think Dustin's prepared for that. But we got to remember that, like you said, Charles can strike. I think if he does get caught,
Oh, yeah.
and Charles does try and slip a takedown in, I'm kind of afraid that he has a leg lock.
It's super interesting to me.
Charles can do a leg lock,
Oh, yeah,
like
oh,
he's
yeah.
done one.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's super interesting to me because we say, like, there's a path to victory for either way. Like, it's crazy, Josh, because on the ground, yeah, Charles on paper has the better jiu-jitsu, but Dustin has great jiu-jitsu, and like the Chandler fight has really opened doors for maybe there's a path to victory on the ground. But as we're saying that in the same sentence, Charles has great striking. He just knocked out Chandler. So like, you know what I mean? Like, Dustin should have the advantage on the feet on paper. But this isn't a paper fight. This is a real fight, and I think this is gonna be an insane fight, and I am looking forward to it. I can't wait for it to just sign the contracts. Let's get it. Give it to me.
yeah, give
Give
the
me
title
this
shot to
fight.
the kid. Give the title shot to the kid.
Give me this fight.
All right. Moving on from 264 to Canelo versus Plant is set for September 18th, 2021. Now, I'm...
This is easily his hardest fight in all of them. Like all the ways that he's going up, this is the hardest.
This is
one.
the hardest one?
I think so, yeah.
You don't think Floyd was?
Well, yeah, Floyd was, but I'm talking about in the last 5 years. This is the hardest one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe Triple G won, maybe, but this fight, this is the hardest fight, and I still think Canelo wins by landslide. I don't think it's close. But on paper, yeah, this should be the hardest fight.
Well, it's going in Las Vegas, so...
So it's gonna be sold out. It's gonna be rocking.
Now...
Woo! I think his last fight was in Las Vegas too, wasn't it? Or Miami or something like that.
I think it was Miami, but...
And that was rocking too. Yeah, it was.
Jeez,
Miami.
Yeah. Who did he fight last time? Oh my god, who did he fight last time?
Oh, Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, put him in the hospital.
Yeah. And Billy Joe looked great.
Paul.
That was...
Canelo's just a different beast, though.
Oh, he is. He is. One shot changes the fight like that. I did have Billy Joe up on the sword card, so a lot of people aren't talking about that. But Billy Joe isn't Caleb Plant. They're two different fighters. I think Caleb Plant has the power to hurt Canelo, whereas Billy Joe he was never going to hurt Canelo. He was just going to stick and move. That was his path to victory. And he was working that very well.
Now, I have one thing about Caleb. This dude is stupid tall.
Yeah.
Versus a short, stocky power puncher. I've seen
That liver's going to be worked.
numerous knockouts from a liver pop. Now, I'll say it right now. I'll call it. I'll put money on it. I say a liver pop to a right hand and,
Yeah.
or no, not left hand. Sorry, left hand.
Might not even get to the left hand. Might not even. That's how hard of a puncher this guy is.
Yeah, but with how strong Caleb is, like you gotta give it to Caleb. I think he'll give a liver shot, pop him, and then he'll have to put him out. I don't think Caleb drops to a liver shot.
The speed of Canelo is really what's dangerous about him too, because there's a ton of guys that with one shot power like that, but not with the speed and footwork of Canelo and head movement.
With the two pop combo. But
Oh, yeah,
and especially with the liver and then the pop to the hop.
Yeah,
like,
up top or down low up top, boom, 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 boom.
Good night.
I can't wait for that fight.
He'll
That's
pop
another one.
Caleb right off the fucking canvas. You just lift him right up.
You know, at this point in time, I think the only person that can give Canelo a real problem is Gennady Golovkin. They fought twice. The second one was close. The first one was a draw. That's the only fight for me. Caleb Plant's an interesting challenge because he provides the strength and power, and he's got the size, but he doesn't got the tools, the intangibles that Gennady Golovkin has. And Gennady Golovkin, I don't know if he's turned back the clock. He looked great in his last fight.
In a sense, okay, but yeah, Triple G's been a good fight for him, but at the same time,
It's just a bad matchup for him. That's why it's such a good fight.
like,
Cause
do you think Triple G makes it more exciting the third time? Tries to, at least.
no. This is
They've been drag out fights. Like,
and that's his path to victory. So I don't think anything changes from Triple G. I think Canelo tries to push the pace. I think Canelo tries to get inside, but Triple G has proven that style of evading and like Triple G can take a shot. You know what I mean?
And then that's where I think the Klitschko fight comes back, right? Or not the Klitschko. Who the frick did Canelo fight? Big name like that. Oh, what's his name?
There's been a couple. Floyd.
No. Canelo beat the light heavyweight. Who's the light heavyweight champ?
Oh yeah, Kovalev.
Kovalev, that's
Yeah.
it. Kovalev. Like, you seen how he fought Kovalev. Like, he was... I think that's how he fights Triple G. Like,
Yeah, but Kovalev doesn't really have the footwork. He
Kovalev's
looks.
got a lot of power, though.
Yeah.
And you seen Canelo
But Triple G
cover up
does
for
it.
like 9 rounds and then finally find an opening when
See,
Kovalev got tired.
See, the thing about Triple G is, he's really hard to hit and he won't get tired. And he's never loading up. He's always boom boom, jab jab to the body out. You know what I mean? And that's the blueprint. That's how you do it. That's the only way to beat Canelo, I think, man. I don't think anyone can go toe to toe with this guy. I don't think there's a guy that's gonna walk him down, bite down on the mouthpiece, and take that shot for an extended period of time. Maybe for a short period of time. Maybe
Question then. Who wins, Caleb Plant or Gennady Golovkin?
What weight class? Is
Same as Alvarez and Plant are fighting at 168.
So Triple G would be going up. It's interesting. Because, like, styles make fights, right? That's why Canelo and Triple G is an interesting fight. Yeah, I think Canelo. I think Triple G wins. It's an interesting fight, though.
See, this is where my head's at. Is you have a guy in Canelo that moves around. He gets around to each weight class, and then you have Golovkin, who's been very one weight class.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. So and that's interesting.
And now the question raised is,
Like if
does Canelo say, "I'll fight you at a different weight class.
No.
Let's try something else"?
No, I don't think so. Because Canelo's too proud. If they drew the first time, they would have to go back to the original weight class, I think. Because Triple G's got the belt back now too, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he'd have to go back to get the belt back, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
And
just to say you beat Golovkin, why don't you say, let's fight at this class?
And it was such a close win against Golovkin. A lot of
And they fought twice. The draw was the first time.
Yeah.
So the draw is out of the question after the second fight.
yeah, but the second fight, if you recall, like I had Canelo, I had Triple G winning that fight.
So yeah, I remember the whole controversy thing with that. But you got to think too, right? Like, if I'm not Triple G, I'm saying, yeah, just move that down there. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm saying, fuck it. I'm staying at the weight class that we got the belt at. If I'm Alvarez and I'm experienced in doing all this, why don't you do something about it? Like, figure it out. The easier way to put it, like, pick the class and fuck him up in the class. You
Yeah.
know how to do it. He doesn't.
Yeah. But
You know how to change your body weight.
see, my thing, I think that's why Canelo wouldn't do it, because he's too proud. Like he wants to be like
Be proud of being better, though.
I know, but there'd be an asterisk to him. There would be like, oh, he made him go up. He made him do this. And then he'd be like, fuck that. Let's just go down and beat him at his own weight class. Fuck that. You know what I mean? I love that about Canelo.
I do too, but I don't think people are gonna say it. I think Canelo's already gone up.
And to be honest, I want him to go back down to fight Triple G because I think he would get Triple G at a higher weight class. And I think that's the only way to beat Canelo is right there in that matchup right there. And you got to do it soon because Triple G's time's not on his side. You got to do it quick.
Canelo's going up.
Yeah.
Triple G will have to go up. The
Not-
body goes up.
Canelo is such a... Because, like, he's not big at any of these weight classes that he's going up to, right? Like, he's just got that freak power. He's like Tank. Like, he just... Boom. Speaking of Tank. Is that the fight of the year so far? Barreros and Tank. Do we need to see a rematch there? I love that fight. I think that fight was... Because, like, Barreros dominated from, like, rounds 1 through 5. I know we talked about it last week.
Yeah, but...
But, you know what I mean? Like... It's a question worth asking because it was a really good fight. At minimum, is it the boxing fight of the year?
No, not in my opinion.
What was the boxing fight of the year in your opinion?
Oh, boxing? Okay, well then,
Yeah.
it's got to be close to the box. Yeah, it's close to the boxing fight of the year. The only one I could say otherwise would be.
We've seen a lot of dominant fights this year. A lot of rematches, and the rematches didn't go the way that we thought it would go. You know.
Oh, that Lomachenko fight was good.
Oh, the Lopez
Yeah.
Lomachenko fight. Yeah, but it wasn't that good. Like it was good, but I don't think it was like fucking crazy, like back and forth war. Like I thought Lopez kind of took over in the later half, or the earlier half, and then Lomo kind of
Finish
picked up.
him off. Yeah. Here, let me shake my memory. I'm kind of mixing 2020 and 2021 up, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, for COVID reasons, Josh, we'll keep 20 and 21 and 2020 as 1 year. Kind of like what they did for the Olympics. Like, if the Olympics can do it, we can do it. You know? Fuck that. we'll include last year's fights in this because there was like
Let's just see
COVID really fucked
let's see what
everything up.
pops up here first.
Especially for boxing, like UFC kind of kept the train rolling, but boxing there was a couple months there that they were just like dead silent. You know, we're not touching this COVID thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think.
Let's go back and take a look here.
Well, while you do that, I think Barreros, and it deserves a rematch. What are you? At minimum, Barreros deserves a rematch for sure. Because that was such a good fight. Oh my god. You look back, I
I'm just double checking because I kind of feel like there was something in 2021 I'm missing.
Crawford fought, didn't he?
No, Lomachenko and Nadakati. When he fought the Chinese guy, that was just recently in June.
Yeah.
That was a good fight.
I didn't like that fight.
That was a good
He
fight.
dominated him.
Where's the other one? Was that the only one that I'm thinking of?
I think it's Lopez.
No, the Lopez fight was the dominant one, I think.
Well, like I thought, cause like that was the same as the Tank, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I switched over, bro. I was watching that fight. And I was like, oh my god. After like the fucking first 5 minutes of the fight, I was like, it's over, and then fucking I switched over, and then sure enough, like second, 7th, 8th round, it was like Lobo wins, dominant.
Yeah, 9th round, but either way, like that. In a way, like.
It was good seeing Lomo back. Like it was good seeing him like.
Okay, then I should ask you this. Because Javante knocked him out, would you put Jake Paul in there?
No. I don't like Jake Paul, but I don't want him to die. Come on, I don't want a suicide mission on our hands here. You know, I mean, I like Jake. Like as a fighter, like what he's doing is good. But
no, I'm talking the Ben Askren knockout. Like that's.
Oh! I thought you meant like put him in there with. Okay.
No, you gotta put that. It's
No. Because there's nobody.
Compared to Javante?
Well, because like Ben's a wrestler, but like it wasn't that impressive to me because he doesn't have hands. If he does that to Tyron, yes.
That was a huge right hand, though.
Oh yeah, and it was the first right hand he threw too. Boom.
Yo, thank you, Rafi, for the gifted, brother. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, G. But yeah, no, it's in a sense you gotta think like that was a huge knockout. Javante's was a huge knockout. I gotta put Jake Paul in like first tie.
Knockouts, yeah, for sure.
Like that was huge. That fight, like the fight was massive.
If he does that to Tyron, I think that's way more impressive, for sure.
It is, but as of right now, I'm putting Jake Paul tied for #1 with Javante at the fight of boxing of the year.
Not the fight of the year, but not knockout of the year, maybe. But I'm talking about like back and forth, like fight of the year, like fucking exciting, crazy, wow, like the shit that made you just go like, holy shit, like you know what I mean, like.
I'm putting Jake Paul there.
You're crazy.
That shit made me go wow.
Like I should rephrase it better. Like
that power,
from both sides.
I know,
because like Barrero had me going like I can't believe Barrero's dominating like this, and then fucking Tank comes back with like a 10-7 round after being dominated, and he comes all the way back, and I was like, wow, that's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like
getting just the way that fight was going.
I hear you, but
I gotta put him up there.
You're
I'm
crazy.
sorry, I hate the guy, but I hate him. But
I don't even really hate him anymore because he's doing a lot for the charity work and stuff. Like with the good fight,
he's doing good, but I hate him for the fighting guy he is. But I've got to give him credit where credit's due.
Do you know what I hate about Jake Paul? He fights guys with no boxing backgrounds, and he acts like he's fighting Canelos. Like he acts like he's the beast. He's the sport. Like slow down a little bit. Let's just pump the brakes a little bit.
I don't think he's been saying he's fighting Canelos.
No, and I don't think that. But like he's acting like he's the Canelo.
He knows who he's fighting. Like
yeah.
Jake Paul knows who he's fighting.
He's picking
and you can see it in his demeanor every time he goes into a fight. He knows he's gonna win. We are seeing right now a new Jake Paul because this guy is terrified. He's fucking terrified. Now,
you should be though. If you're going to a fight, you should be terrified.
I know, but do we see, like, I'll say it. Do we see that twitchy Tyson power?
Maybe.
That Jake has,
Maybe.
Or
maybe Tyron just stops the show.
Yeah, does he stop this freight train of hell going through fucking?
Because against the Vincent Luque, he had Vincent hurt. you know. But like the Tyrant's problem is he's on the wrong side of age. Like I don't think he's got the cardio to go long periods of time anymore. So like,
Oh my God! I don't want you to say that.
I
You know what that means, right?
think Jake's gonna knock him out. I
Oh
do.
my God!
Yeah, it's crazy to say that.
For the love of God, does he get another one?
The guy's 38, Josh.
I have to say this.
He's
Okay,
38
I
years
have
old.
to say this. If this guy knocks out Tyron Woodley, do people finally give him the respect he deserves?
No, because like for that factor alone, he's 38 and he's on the wrong side of his career.
Oh man, this kid can't win. He's never gonna win.
Like Stephen A. put it perfect. Like for all the shitty combat sports takes that he has, he put it perfectly. He said, "I don't want to see this. I want to see Jake fight a real boxer, and then I'll get behind. Then I'll get on that gravy train." And I'm taking that stance. Until you fight a pro boxer, it doesn't have to be a good it doesn't have to be like a top name. Like if you fight a good pro boxer, it doesn't have to be like the fucking Canelo or like just any pro boxer that's on the right side of their career. Fight that guy, and I'll get on that board, and then we'll want to see you with bigger fights. But until then, until that happens, I'm just enjoying the show.
Okay, and then I have a question for you. Because there's the rumors of Spencer Jr. versus Pacquiao.
Spence and Pacquiao. Oh no, it's announced. Spence is
Yeah, I
fighting
know,
Pacquiao,
it's
yeah.
announced. It's been going through the rumor mills.
Spence is gonna kill him. I'm just gonna say that now. Spence is gonna kill him.
Do you think?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Errol, okay, Josh.
I know,
Errol's-
I hate to be this guy, but can we
I love Manny.
I know, but can we just can we go Rocky for a second here?
Oh yeah, like Manny.
When he fought Dixon.
Yeah. No, I get you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
50-year-old Rocky.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you. Errol
like
Spence.
that.
Errol Spence is on a different level. I think he's undefeated. I think
Yeah.
he's the best in the world. He's not Keith Thurman. I'll tell you that. When Keith Thurman got knocked out by Manny Pacquiao, or not knocked out, sorry. When he got beat by Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman had a layoff of 3 years. He was just fighting last year. Errol Spence. And that was the big thing. It's is he gonna be the same guy after the car crash? Yes. Dominated. Looked great against top level guy, Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? And I think Manny bit off a little more than he might be able to chew here. I don't think Errol. Well, Errol might knock him out too, but I don't think that he does. But I think Manny's gonna get. I think. Here.
I have more respect for Manny Pacquiao
Hell yeah.
than Floyd Mayweather right now
Hell
because
yeah.
Floyd's fighting a fucking YouTuber and
Oh.
this guy's actually fighting a pro boxer.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'm gonna give Manny his credit where credit's due.
Give
and
him
I'm-
his flowers.
And you know what? Give him the Rocky quota status, whatever you want to say.
Oh yeah. I don't think he wins, but I love Manny for this.
Yeah.
Like Manny taking this fight, balls of iron. Holy smokes!
I could not believe my ears when I heard that he was fighting Spencer Jr. and I'm like, no way.
Because when I heard he was gonna fight Crawford, I had the same reaction. I was like, don't do this. Please don't do this, man. I get why you're doing. You're too tough for your own good, dude. Don't do this.
Why
And then-
didn't Terrence Crawford sign the deal?
because the money wasn't there. And now Terrence Crawford's forced to fight. Oh, did you hear that? Terrence Crawford's supposed to fight. What's his name? Spence Porter.
Yeah.
Porter.
When is that?
I can't wait. Oh, they have 5 days to get a negotiation, so it's not announced yet, but it was mandatory by WBO,
Yeah, so they have.
which is crazy. I can't wait for that fight. That's gonna be a great fight. I'm waiting
Who's
for.
projector.
I've been waiting for Sean Porter to come back. It's gonna be a good one.
What are they projecting here?
I think it's so early. I don't even know if they've even got that far in negotiations yet. But the fact that we're
there's projections out probably.
maybe.
Spring of 2022.
Oh,
Yeah, spring of 2022. So they're gonna be just after Christmas time.
it's gonna be a good fight.
That'll be probably the first big banger of 2022.
I can't wait for that fight. I love TC too. I think TC wins that fight, but that's not a walk in the park. Sean Porter's a monster. He is. Sean
And if
Porter.
they're gonna give him 6 months to train,
Oh yeah. But
these guys are gonna start now.
Oh yeah, but TC, TC. TC's coming in. Bud's no joke. Bud Crawford is probably the best in the world, and he's gonna treat this fight. I love that about Bud because no matter who the opponent is, no matter who Bob Arum matches up with, like you keep in mind, TC's been trying to fight Spence for how long, and like
Yeah.
Bob just won't do it. Like Bud approaches every single fight like he's fighting Errol Spence, and that's what I love about this guy, because he's on a mission, man. He wants to be the best ever, and I think he's getting there.
Well, and I think Bud really needs to fight some bigger names too. This is a
Well,
big
this is Bob
name,
Arum's fault.
and
Like he wants to, but Bob Arum he's a dick. Like I don't know why Bob Arum still has fighters, honestly. Like he just, from what I'm seeing and everything, like it's like how he only cares about Tyson Fury. Like,
in my opinion, Bud Crawford can also justify what his manager's doing.
well, no,
He can
because
say no.
yeah, but he won't. He just won't get the fight. Then he'll just because he sat on the sidelines for like a year before his last fight, and then he finally just I gotta get back in. I mean, like it's like, come on, dude. Like,
Is that him though? You got to think about this too, right? Is he not pushing the buttons like, hey, dude, can we do a fight? Can I get a fight? Can I get a fight? Can I get a fight?
And Bob's big
Can we
thing
fight
was,
this?
I don't want you to fight him until fucking COVID's over. Well, COVID's over. Well, it's not over, but like fans are back. Like, what are we doing? I want to see this fight. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry, but the UFC's been doing it for how long?
oh yeah. And that was Bobby Arum's thing. He's like, even when the UFC was going on, he's like, well, I'm not taking that loss. Not for that fight. No. We'll wait on that fight. And now that we've waited and it's here, or like the fans are back, where is it? What are you saying? Like, this is the problem with Bob Arum. Like, he blows smoke up everybody's ass, and he's only out for one thing: his pocketbook. He doesn't give a fuck about Terrence Crawford's legacy. He doesn't care about anyone else. And he knows if Terrence Crawford fights Errol Spence, and he should lose, because it's a barn burner, could go either way. There goes his cash cow. Like, that's terrible promoting. That's terrible promoting.
So we do have to say this though: the WBO has ordered them both that they have to pick a fight date. So that contract has to be signed, or nobody has titles.
With Porter, but I'm talking about Spence. Like Spence, there's no reason that we should have to wait for this fight this long. Like, this fight should be here. We should have already had it. And now that we still not going to get it. Who knows if we're ever going to see Spence and Crawford actually fight? Yeah. Crazy, man. Like, it's just frustrating. Like, because now Spence is fighting Pacquiao.
And this has got to be a money fight. You have to think.
No, like, it's just...
It's got to be a money fight for the sense of they're gonna make a shit ton because it's Manny fucking Pacquiao.
Yeah, no, I get it. And that fight makes sense. Like, I love this fight. It's a good fight. There's no reason Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence can't put aside their differences for this stupid A-side, B-side bullshit and get this fight done. We want to see this fight.
Famous Rocky quote, baby, for Pacquiao. If you're watching this, fighters fight, baby.
I wish Pacquiao would watch this. Holy smokes.
Fighters fight. You can do it, kid. Puncher's always got a puncher's chance.
Okay, so I want to get into the. Should we get to the next announcement, I guess, while we're on the announcement kick?
What is that? That was quick.
Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz.
Oh, God, Lord.
For the crazy International Fight Week card, that's going to be insanity. Originally, when I reported this, I thought that Lawler and Robbie was going to, or Lawler and Nick was going to be a co-main event for that card. Boy, was I wrong. That's the Ortega-Volko card. Holy crap, I can't wait for that card. We got Valentina fight on that card. Granted, it's against Lauren Murphy. I mean, yuck. But, like, I like Lauren Murphy, but come on. Like, there's no way she's going to be able to touch that. Whatever. We're not going to talk about that because we know that. Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz. Two. Can't wait. And it's 5 rounds. Not a co-main event either. Just, why are they doing this? We should do this for more people. Why isn't every round 5 rounds? Let's make the championship 6 rounds. What do you think, Josh?
Now, I'm going to go a little bit rogue on this one. I think that all fights should be 5 rounds, period, in the UFC. Past 5 rounds, I think you're getting into dangerous territory.
And we get that would mean shorter cards, but then we wouldn't be with... I'm fine with that. You know, like I like the way boxing does it. 3-4 cards. We don't need like I appreciate it, but like if you build it the right way, we don't need that. Like if you like start the fight at 10, like start the fight at 10, let it end at 11, 30, 12 o'clock. Like, what's wrong with that? Why do we need a 3-hour marathon? You know?
What I would like to see in fighting is they get rid of five round fighting. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me here. And this is just because I wrestled in high school and I wrestled a lot. I would like to see 3 10 minutes.
Oh.
That would really show
For championships?
every fight.
Every fight.
Number one, that'll show your gas tank.
Oh yeah.
That'll show what you can do in a longer time frame. You see a lot of these fights ending in the first round where that fight should be over in the first round. Now you're giving ample time for groundwork to get done. You stand them up, shorter distancing time, so you tell the refs, like, if you're not going to work, I'm only giving you one warning, you're standing straight up. We're not dicking around on the ground. If you see 1 10-minute round, I bet you for the rest of your life it will change your perspective on fighting. Because we
Pride
watch
was
boxing.
Great. Pride was great, and they did show
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
like we watch boxing at 3 minutes because it's one action after another. It's only hand-to-hand combat. There's no other elements to boxing. Kickboxing is, I think it's 1 25-minute round.
Something like that. I
And
don't
it
really
goes to a
watch
point
as much
system.
as I should.
Yeah, it goes to a point system. Whereas wrestling is 3 10-minute rounds, and it goes to a point system. If you point him out in the first round, it's over. So, in a sense, you switch UFC to 3 10-minute rounds, and oh my God,
Crazy.
the difference in animals you'll see in the UFC is gonna just be asinine. Like, I think you see cardio monkeys instead of big jockey juice junkies, and it's gonna be like
Connor would be gone.
it would be like Nick and Nate's, like
Yeah, Connor would be
all
gone.
over.
We wouldn't see Connor ever again. I don't
And we
think.
wouldn't see all these shit talkers that can't actually stand there, bang, or do the ground game. If you can't literally mix up your martial arts, what it is, mixed martial arts,
Yeah.
if you can't do it in 10-minute span, you are going to get your ass handed to you. In a 5-minute span is bad enough, but if you put it into a 10-minute window, I think the UFC has a bigger window with the 10 minutes because a lot more can happen in 10 minutes. Like, I know, yeah, you first and second round there's 10 minutes, but in a sense, like, you got a half an hour instead. It's
It just, yeah. But we would have to cut down drastically though. Like though we wouldn't have these long cards anymore.
yeah, you get less fights. You see bangers fights, like,
Oh yeah,
and
I'm with that.
like you'd weed out the Connors.
No, yeah.
You weed them out one by one. They'd gas out, and they'd be like, I can't do it anymore.
But on the same thing, we wouldn't see guys like Justin Gaethje anymore. Which would be sad.
I think you would.
Maybe.
I think you would.
But he would have a hell of a time fighting the way he does. 30 minutes, holy shit.
Yeah, he would. But at the same time, could someone handle him for 30 minutes?
Maybe not. I don't know.
That's
Holy
another question, right?
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje is an animal, but can somebody else handle him for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And in a sense,
You'd
you
have to
got to
finish
think about
him,
10
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. First
Instead-
10 minutes
yeah.
of the fight, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I get what you're
And
saying.
that's where it comes into, instead of like, oh, it's 5-rounder, it's 25 minutes. Okay, I'm ready for that. Any other fight is 3 rounds is 15 minutes. You better go balls to the wall. And if you don't, well, that's 15 minutes gone. You just got to get through it.
I get what you're saying.
And if you switch them all to a half an hour, you're in there for half an hour.
Yeah.
You either get it done early and you can go home early.
That being said, though, who do you got?
Honestly, just for lack of, I'm going with the old ring rust theories.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
I
right.
have to.
You're
I gotta
right.
go fucking all it, man. Like, Nick's
Yeah.
been out the game for
See,
damn near 7 years.
there's something to say for that, but
Fuck, 6 years. I don't even know how long he's been. I haven't seen him fight since I was in high school, I think.
Robbie really hasn't looked that great in a long time, though, so, like, This could be a good fight. This could be a really good fight.
The last
I mean-
person to put Robbie to sleep was Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is our next live stream, so I'm gonna have to make a pick on this. I don't want to, because it's such a weird fight. Cause yeah, like you said, we haven't seen Nick in so long, and Robbie hasn't looked great. Like he hasn't looked like himself anyway.
and in a sense, you see that man standing across from you, you better be fucking prepared because that's not going to
And
be
well,
an easy night. In the
well,
fucking
I have
office.
no doubt that Nick's cardio will be there. So like, yeah, I think he'll be prepared in that sense. But you're right. Look, there's something to be said for ring rust. I don't know. It's a pick'em fight for me. It could go either way.
His shots will be there. Like I shouldn't say it's full on ring rust. Like Nick's gonna have his shots and whatnot, but it's gonna feel.
I want to lean
off.
towards Nick just because the cardio. Robbie isn't going to be there as he is in the first, as he is in the third, or in the fifth rather. Especially this is a 5-round fight. It definitely favors Nick in that sense. But you'd have to put a gun to my head because I don't want to pick. I'm not betting on this fight. There's no way I'm betting on this fight. No way.
I got a feeling that the new era of the UFC too might have a role in the way Nick fights. You have to think Nick hasn't been here since the old UFC.
But his style fits well to this new UFC. Like, he's pressure dog fight. Like, he makes exciting fights. Everyone wants to see him. Like, let's do it.
It's not about. I don't think it's about more or less people wanting to see him. I think it's more or less the way that the UFC is built upon now, where he would have to do more press.
Oh, media. Yeah.
He'll have to do a different entrance that he would be normal to.
Well, maybe not, because, like, if you remember the Ronda Rousey, when she came back to fight Amanda Nunes, she didn't do any press at all. No interviews at all.
I'm not just trying to say about like the press.
Yeah,
You got to
I
think
get what
about
you're
this
saying.
though. The press hated the UFC when Nick was still around. They didn't praise it the way they are now. The UFC is a staple to
Has Nick and translate on ESPN. You're right. I get what you're saying.
like. Is it gonna be like? Is Nick gonna be able to handle seeing himself with Stephen A. Smith, for example?
Yeah, like, how is that interaction?
Like Nick could be like going out back, sparks up a joint, and his manager walks out. This was just said about you, or his brother walks out. Yo, you see what this fucking Stephen A. Smith's saying about you now?
yeah. No, I get what you're
And
saying.
Nick's been away from the game for so long. The UFC was never in the media's mouths like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
I get you. I get what you're saying.
It was like, don't talk about the MMA world. Don't talk about this shit. This stuff's crazy and we'll look bad. Don't talk about
I'll tell you
it.
right now, I look forward to it because I think Nick's good dog, and
I think he will be a huge dog for this fight too.
I don't know about like I meant like a dog, but like I don't know.
Underdog fight.
Yeah.
I think he's a huge dog for this fight.
Probably.
I think they give Robbie.
Probably.
I think they give Robbie a huge.
But for me watching this fight and picking on this fight, I see a little different than Vegas would.
See, this is where I'm gonna do the unthinkable.
We're gonna have to pick on this fight.
I know. I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna pick him for right now. I'm gonna go with Robbie opening as a huge favorite. And by the time fight comes around, I bet you that drops to close to even.
Yeah, I bet you could pick him fight by fight night.
So
We'll
if
see.
you want a good easy money fight for yourself here, like a pick, you go and put your money on Diaz early, because this shit's gonna go like flatlining even
Yeah, he'll
by
be-
the time that bell rings.
I like this fight for Diaz too because it's a rematch. Robbie's not in his prime, so it's not like he's fighting a killer. I like it. It's a good
You
fight.
just gotta
Let's do
remember
it.
this too, like these guys are gonna actually hit the 5-round mark, I think. So you're just pretty
Me.
much picking on a decision.
Right,
I don't think any.
I'll tell you right now, if it goes past the 4th round, Robbie Lawler's not winning this fight, and he better be up huge by that point because like there's no way his cardio is gonna be there in the 4th and 5th round like Nick. Nick's gonna be right in his face. You look at his last couple of performances, Robbie hasn't really even looked himself. You know
And
what I mean?
so that's where this is where we're saying this now is like if you want to bet on this fight,
Pick Diaz
take
early.
like early, and take him on decision. Cause
But I'm telling you
I
right
think it's a
now,
drag out.
as this is my opinion, stay light years away. If you're degenerate and you really just want to put money on it, sure, pick Diaz. But I'm telling you right now, this is not a fun fight to pick for me. I'm not looking forward to pick him.
Either
At
one
all.
of these dudes can go to sleep. They're aged fighters. Their brains.
We don't know what we're gonna see.
Like-
It's the element of the unknown, Josh. Like I don't like betting on shit that I don't have a good sense where it's gonna go. You know.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what's gonna happen here. And I like it. I'm excited for it for that aspect. But betting wise, stay away.
That card is also stacked with.
Can't wait for that.
Valentina. It's got.
Lauren, she's fighting Lauren Murphy, and then it's got the main event is
Oh my God, who's
who we just talked about that. Stoners. The main event. Oh yeah, it's Izzy and no, it's Volkov and
Oh yeah.
Volkanovski and Ortega. Speaking of that, great season. Have you been watching The Ultimate Fighter?
I haven't watched past season episode 2.
Okay, I won't spoil it for you.
Spoil it for me yet.
I won't spoil it for you?
I gotta like binge
But
watch it. I can't.
They're gonna like I'll tell you right now, because you remember you've watched when they got into it, like they got into it at the weigh-ins or whatever, and he's
No.
Oh, okay. I'll stay out of it then. But I'll tell you right now, they go dry for a while, but they pick it up this last episode. Like
Okay. It was dry for the first couple episodes, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna binge watch a bunch of these because if I wait and then watch one by one, I'm gonna get pissed off because I gotta wait a week.
So the scenario has been Volkanovski has been fucking pissed off and talking shit, and then but then the dynamic changed this last week, and he got under Ortega's skin, and it was very entertaining. I could see it. You could see the fire in Ortega's eyes, and I'm like, let's go. So you gotta watch this. Get caught up. We'll come back to the next episode. But wow, next episode of Beyond the Glow Tape. I expect you to be up to date because I'm full of spoilers. Let's go.
I got 2 weeks.
Okay, so let's get into Islam and then we'll wrap up here because we're getting a little long here. You gotta work tomorrow. So, is Islam the next guy? 155. I think so. Maybe. He looked insane. Really good. Against a guy that's never been finished. And he just did that to him? Unreal. Unreal. This guy's only been decisioned. I thought Islam was going to decision him. I really did. I didn't think Islam was going to be able to finish this dude. I was looking at this guy's record and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing, like, this guy isn't crazy known, but he's a tough guy. He's fought really tough guys. And the only losses he's had was to decisions. So I'm thinking, Islam's going to grind this out. This is going to be a typical Islam performance. And it's going to be, I'm pumped for it because I love that kind of performance. I love the Khabib. I love it. I love the grappling. I love their pressure. I love the way these guys fight. I love it. But
I disagree because I love it, but at the same time, I watched the the pre-fight press conferences. That dude was not there.
oh yeah, no, he's
there
not.
was something wrong with Islam.
Yeah,
he was in killer Russian mode. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck
And that's what I love about him because he doesn't talk. He doesn't get into it.
But
Like
you could see,
Yeah,
you
and-
could feel.
yeah,
I
the
couldn't watch
tension-
that. I'm like,
the tension.
this dude
It's
looks
scary.
scary as fuck right now, and he is not moving fast. He is just sitting there like.
We talk about
Okay.
Dustin and Charles and this and that. Great, do your thing. I'm telling you right now, Islam beats all of them. All of them. Maybe not Dustin, but I tell you right now, Charles Oliveira versus Islam is not a good matchup for Charles.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I know why Khabib retired.
Well, no, because Khabib said they are.
Those two should never fight.
Well, they won't. Cause
I don't ever want to know that result.
Khabib's dad said they wouldn't, and that.
I know
yeah.
why. That's, you don't want to pick and choose between who's undefeated and who's not.
Well, no, because Khabib, the thing about Khabib was like it was his time, right? And he was clearly better than Islam, but now it's Islam's time, and he said that when I retire, Islam's gonna pick up right where I left off, and he wasn't wrong, because he looked great, and I truly do believe Islam's gonna be the next champion at 155. Not the next, but he will be the champion at 155. I mark my words, take it to the bank, bet your house on it. Islam is going to be the lightweight champion of the world sooner than later. He's not undefeated. He has one loss. He's on an 8-5 win streak.
Who did you lose to?
He lost early in his career. I don't know. But he's on a different level. You can see it in his
Yeah.
performances. Like I'm sorry with Khabib in his corner, and Khabib's not going anywhere.
That's fucking scarier.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's scarier with the loss. You can see it on his face. Like, I've lost before. I don't even give a fuck. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fuck this dude
Yeah.
up.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I thought he was undefeated. I was watching.
He's like 18-1 now, or no, 20-1 now. Unreal. Don't fuck with this guy. This guy is insane. I love Dustin. You know how much I love Dustin. I don't think Dustin will be. I don't think he'll be able to touch this guy. Cause he's just like Khabib. He's
Listen, I
literally
think
just
Charles-
like Khabib.
I think Charles has a better shot of beating Dustin, but Charles ain't got a shot in hell of beating Islam.
If Islam shaved his head, okay, shaved his head, fucking,
You know who they should
he'd
give
be
him
Khabib.
next?
He'd be Khabib. He is Khabib.
You know who they should give him next?
Who?
Michael Chandler.
Oh my God, yes, yes. But Chandler not gonna take that fight because you know what? Like, he's on the ground. It's gonna be new. Like,
Okay, if you're Chandler, you have to take that fight because you beat him.
oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
right back in the picture.
Oh, you have to, but you're not going to beat him because Islam's the guy.
And if you don't take that fight, if I'm Islam, I'm calling out
Everybody.
Justin,
Who did you
Conor.
hear? He called out. He called out RDA. He's because of the Khabib thing.
Yeah.
And it was literally all Khabib shit. It was hilarious to me. He's like, I want to fight RDA. Tony, we got to fight Tony. And I'm like, dude, you're just, it's like everything that, you're like, I'm going to prove these guys they couldn't touch Khabib. And I was like, I love it. I love it. These guys ride so hard for each other, dude. I love it. And you, like, I can't wait to talk about this. I watched the there's going to be a couple takes from this interview I want to talk about right now. The amount of loyalty that Khabib has towards his family and Islam and his brother. Like, Islam and him aren't related, but they're brothers. Or they might be cousins, but they're brothers. Like, they brothers. So, like, I love that. I love that, and I love that he's not going anywhere. Khabib said he's going to be here until Islam retires. He might be here after Islam retires. He might just be a coach at AKA. I love it. I love that Khabib gives back. I love that he thinks so highly of Islam, and he's you can just feel how proud he is of him. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. I love how loyal Islam is to Khabib. It's just this whole saying. It's like a family. You know what I mean? And just great.
They're
I love
good people, man.
Oh, they are. And you can hear it whenever. And then here's the interesting thing. I think you'll respect Khabib for this a lot. I did anyway. He goes, say Charles beats Islam. And like Khabib doesn't just doesn't cut off Brett here. You know how he does that sometimes. Khabib didn't do that. He let him finish his question. He's like, he's like, say hypothetically, Charles cleans up the division, beats everyone you beats Islam. And then people like me start saying, oh, maybe Charles could beat Khabib in his prime. Would you come back? He goes, nope. I would say, I'm happy for you. Good job. Good. It's your time, Charles. So like that's huge. That was telling to me that how fucking nice and serious of a guy this guy is. Like, he's serious in retirement, and he's genuinely happy for everyone else around him. Even if they're not on his team, he loves Dustin. He had nothing but nice things to say about Dustin. He goes, Dustin, I'm sorry. I know you won't like this. Islam's gonna smash you. Like, who says that? Who says I'm sorry my bro's gonna smash you? Like, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, I love it. I
They
love
are
it.
respectable people, though. You gotta give them that. Gotta give them credit where credit is due.
So like the fact that he would let Islam take the loss and not feel the need to have his ego take over, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was really telling to me. So yeah, the Islam is the future of this division for me. I think I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm all in on Islam. I'm strapped in. Give this guy every fight. Like, stop ducking this man. Let's go to the moon. Give him a title shot now. I don't care. Like, since no one wants to fight him, nobody wants to take this fight. Let's just see how he does. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with it. Let's do it. What do you think about this one?
I think it's going to be the same issues that Khabib had and getting people to just sign on the dotted line. And I think,
He's 30 years old. He's in prime of his career. He's
yeah,
like,
I know.
no
It's
one
just
wants
it's going to be a hard time getting people to sign that contract, knowing who Khabib is and knowing what kind of animal that he's trained up. And
But I do think it helps him, Khabib in his corner with the machine of the UFC. You know what I mean? So like Dana's obviously behind this kid, and he's gonna push him. So that
doesn't
helps.
matter
But he wasn't behind Khabib, and when the Khabib's come up, if you remember, he was eventually, but like when he was fighting guys like Michael Johnson, getting fake contracts for the title, knowing that he was gonna get passed up for Conor, that doesn't have now Islam has a huge advantage that Khabib doesn't have. Khabib's a superstar now. You know what I mean? So he has a little bit more pull. I think that's gonna do wonders for his career.
Islam's?
Oh yeah, I think Islam got more big fights because of that than what we would have seen Khabib get. You know what I mean?
I don't think people are gonna sign the dotted line.
Maybe not, but I think in that scenario they'll have to, because they'll just keep he'll only offer you cause if you remember he got behind Khamzat, I'm not even gonna try to butcher his last. He got behind Khamzat and Hamzat, not sorry, he got behind Hamzat Chimaev, and Yair didn't want to fight him, and he said, "Okay, Yair, you're cut." You know what I mean? And I think that's the power of Dana White behind you, if Dana's in your corner. And I think obviously with Khabib in your corner, Khabib loves.
Are you gonna cut Dustin Poirier?
Oh no.
Cut Charles Oliveira?
No, but you'll think about cutting Justin Gaethje, guy that's not very active. You'll think about cutting Dan Hooker, guy that just lost a couple of fights in a row. You know what I mean? These guys that aren't fighting him, they're gonna have no choice eventually. Michael Chandler, maybe. Michael Chandler's lost, and he's not a UFC product, so maybe you cut your losses if you're not gonna take the fights we want you to take. I don't know. Having Dana in your corner is a huge advantage.
It is, but it could prove disastrous at the same time.
Because it's hard to say no to Dana when that's what he wants. If he brings you with 3 or 4 contracts, fine. But if he brings you with 1 contract, he's like, "This is the fight we want." Who's gonna say no to Dana White? Other than Dustin Poirier, someone that doesn't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? There's not too many of those guys. A lot of these guys are company men, and they're scared to death about making a living somewhere else. Let's just say what it is. You know what I mean? Dan Hooker is in no position to turn down any fight right now. That's the guy that I would be feeding to Islam right now, because I know if you don't want to fight, you just lost 2 in a row. Who are you to me? You know what I mean?
I'm Islam. I don't want to talk fight.
He's in the top 5.
Yeah, but at the same time, Dan Hooker is not the caliber that Islam is.
He's not. But it's an easy. But for Islam, it's an easy rub. Just take him down, dominate him, and then you get his rank. And then you went from a 10 or 15 guy to a top 5.
Yeah.
And now you can justify a title shot. You know what I mean?
I think you already can justify
a title shot. Yeah. But I'm talking about to the public, to casuals. He used to be a number 4 guy, obviously deserves it. But me and you watched that, I was like, oh, that's an easy style matchup for Islam. But someone that doesn't know Islam would say, oh, this guy's 15. Why is he fighting number 4? You know what I mean? It's a big rub.
I think he just needs a title shot, and we'll see a change of the guard.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna see it soon.
A regain of the guard.
After that main event performance, being the only guy to finish that guy in that fashion, wasn't a close fight. Dominated every second of that fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough to deny him.
It is.
Anyway, we went a little long. Josh has got to work tomorrow. He's had a long day. We're gonna sign off. Thank you guys for tuning in. Another great episode to our BGO day next week. Hope to see you guys there on the live. I'll be there. Anything else, Josh?
No, we're golden. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jordan, for the tier 1. Love you, brother. And thank you guys for the birthday love. Talk to you guys later.
See ya.